WTVA presents a celebration of Black history, sponsored by Sonic.
We're taking a look at how the Black Lives Matter movement has impacted a new generation's fight for equality. In this week's A Celebration of Black History, WTVA's Sydney Darden spoke with some local college students about continuing the conversation for equal rights.
It started with Trayvon Martin in 2013. And picked up global momentum in 2020 after the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. The Black Lives Matter movement has acted as one of the largest platforms for racial equality and black voices for almost a decade. Closer to home in Starkville, I met up with some young voices to talk about keeping the fire alive in 2021.
George Floyd represented our fathers. He represented people's sons. He represented us as a whole.
Mississippi State student Morgan Gray helped organize the protests in Starkville and views BLM as a launching pad for young activists.
When I went to Second Baptist and I saw what was going on, I really felt like they needed a young person's perspective, because this movement is for the younger people. And along with the older generation's guidance, we were able to make something that seems more modern, that still represented us all.
Now 276 days after George Floyd's death and still awaiting the trial for the officer involved in Breonna Taylor's case, her fellow classmates say now is not the time to lose momentum.
Protests are just a small piece of what Black Lives Matter do. There's work happening behind the scenes with pushing legislation and working in local areas.
I feel like each and every achievement of a black individual is Black history, whether it's small or large.
As groups around the country continue to advocate for policy change on both the local and statewide level, these advocates encourage other ethnic groups to stay involved.
I want for people to care that's other than me, like step outside of themselves to see who is really affected by these deaths.
As the fight goes on, these students continue to be history in the making and speaking the names of those who inspired them along the way. Not just George Floyd, but
Trayvon Martin,
Elijah McClain,
Amaya Braxton,
Breonna Taylor,
and many others. In Starkville, Sydney Darden, WTVA 9 News.